women need to gather. They need to have a space.
In my blood, in my bones, I am a powerful woman. Changing, emerging, powerful, passionate, free, original woman.
They need to feel safe with each other to be able to show up and not to feel like they're in competition.
Free, original woman.
What I want to create is a place for women just to come and be. Not to have to cook the dinner, not to have to tidy up.
Changing, emerging, powerful, passionate, free, original woman.
Not to have such a crammed timetable that they feel like they've got to run from one workshop to another to get their money's worth. There's freedom in what they do. It's created a community. We have 1,500 women in our community group online, and they really support each other, from teens through eldest person on the site is 79. There's real beauty in what we create. And I have great pride in what I do, because what I see it does for other women, and to feel like they have something to offer. So Sacred Sister was already a little nugget in my mind a long time ago. And I guess there was a fear that just kind of stopped me. And that was partly because I hadn't done my own work to feeling safe with women. And it's not that I had bad experiences. It's just that, I was never the in girl. I was always bigger than the girls that I hang around with. I was never the cool girl. And so it left me with things as I moved on. And then I had a daughter of my own. And so I guess there was a part of me that felt like I didn't want her to have those same experiences, and I wanted to model something different. Remember, you are worthy. I schedule a morning kind of meet around the fire so that everybody can feel like they've connected and nobody feels on their own. I think it's quite a testimony that there's an awful lot of women that feel safe to come by themselves. As much as it's about women gathering, it's about women feeling safe to just be who they are and be on the land. The land holds us, especially here. We're on the side of a hill, you can't see anything, there's no overlookers, it's such a safely held space. We work only with consent in this field, so there is no forced hugging. You don't go into a workshop and you're made to hug each other. Everything is done with consent.
I was really quite nervous about coming into a field of 90 women today. As soon as people started singing, celebrating what it is to be a woman, it was that heart connection, heart opening, deeply witnessing personal stories. It was a huge honour. I feel great gratitude to be here today.
And every voice is put into the circle, every voice. And they drop a word into how they're feeling. I feel scared, I feel inhibited. It's a very real sense, and all of them is welcome. And it makes everybody feel safe. To be told that you're beautiful, that you're powerful, that somebody else really heard you and felt you. It's like holding up that mirror that we just don't see for ourselves.
I take my place in the circle.
The power of women getting together is just magical. Being real with each other, with our stretch marks, with our wrinkles.
It's empowering, naked in the sunshine. And that's been a whole journey of, acceptance, of body neutrality as opposed to body positivity. This is a safe space away from the male gaze.
The circle symbolises protection. It symbolises a space of being held. It symbolises sisterhood, community.
Honest and true.
And actually, when you come to a place like this, everyone is very inclusive, everyone's very welcoming, and that's a very liberating and healing experience in itself.
Everyone's equal in a circle. You reflect to each other on all sorts of levels. Circles like this can empower women to hold themselves and know their value. and Laura is a wonderful guide on these things. I think all these things that she does, whether it's Shine, which is a program that I am joined this year, which is a year-long program, and is already very beneficial.
The way that I witness the women in the Shine programme connect with each other, it's on another level. So we cover the sisterhood wound, the mother wound, their birth stories. We start with kind of vision boards and how they create their own reality. Where are the seeds that they've sown that maybe there were lessons that they didn't quite learn?
Sister, hold my hand. Sister, hold my hand.
Ideally, we want balance in the world, men and women in that circle of sharing.
Absolutely.
So why women?
So for me, there absolutely has to be balance, and it will come. But my sense is if I rush it too quickly, the clash comes and nobody feels safe. And for me, safety has to be priority. And I'm learning how to be in a place of radical participation and acceptance of everybody. And I think that's where, for now, I feel safest doing that journey with women, because they're the same breed and I understand them a bit better sometimes.
And tell me how it all works, because you have a board with nothing on it.
They come and they co-create it together, and there's no hierarchy in that.
It's beautiful actually, because when you arrive there's nothing, literally just a blank canvas, and you just start to see things filling up, which is wonderful because everybody that comes pretty much has something different to offer, and it's incredible to see all the gifts weaving the magic together.
And what are you bringing to the table?
Wow, I have an exciting new project. The idea of Daughters of Danu is that we have photographs of women in nature as nature intended. So no filters, no airbrushing.
Tell me what you're doing.
I'm a mobile blinger. I'm Sandy Sparkles. I sparkle into people's lives and a smile.
So I've been running a workshop on the Enneagram, which is a sort of a system of personality types, but with a spiritual bent. So it's based on identifying, like, from your patterns of thinking and behaviour, what your core fear is and which part of life you find hardest to trust in. And from that, learning, you get a number, and you can sort of begin to identify how you relate to people and what you might struggle with, what your strengths will be, and ways to support yourself really to relate more positively.
So today we were making grief pots. They used to cry into the little pots, and the tears would then be placed in the tombs. Today I was talking a bit about how there's never really any grief if we haven't had love. In working with clay, we can slowly start to reconnect parts of ourselves that have sort of been shut off. I mean, so for me personally, I used to be a busy business crime lawyer, and I did an evening class in ceramics. And then I think for me it was the first time in my life that I could actually sit down and sit still and be with myself. And sort of prior to that, sitting still was actually quite a traumatic place to be. So I was always on the go, always achieving, always the next thing. And then with ceramics, it wasn't about being good at it, and it wasn't about achieving or doing. It was just, I was just there with myself and the clay.
And we are clay.
And we are clay. That is what John O'Donoghue says. We are clay bodies in human form, having this like soul experience here.
I am doing a sacred sexual scent workshop. So we're going to be doing a meditation into our most sexual selves, the deep, beautiful, feminine energy of sexuality. And then we're going to be infusing perfumes that we're going to be making into the scent. So yeah, it's going to be really beautiful. Lots of really beautiful essential oils, organic witch hazel. And then we're going to be infusing a homemade scent, and everyone gets to take one home.
What are you creating?
A nature mandala. So I've been learning about the 9 rights of women.
Firstly, an opportunity to connect with themselves and to sit on the land and connect with the land, to reflect where you were at each stage of that right, if it's the mid-child or your first blood or, your first flight, the different stages that you're in. And then there's the moment where the women come together and co-create the space. That can be a triggering experience for women because in our society we've been taught to see women as our competitors. And when you're doing something in a co-created way without words, so this was done with song, that's really beautiful to witness, where the women can, just create in that way, in that beautiful way where we can come together.
I offer you love.
I hear your needs. I see your beauty. I feel your feelings. All wisdom flows from the highest source. I honor that source in you. Let's work together.
It's been amazing. It's been transformational.
It's probably one of the most life-changing experiences that I've had, like the love and the support and the connection.
It is definite heart connection, you know, and that comes from safety. That comes from being able to be in your heart, not in your defense.
It's just wonderful to see people embracing themselves, whether that be naked, skipping around, singing, being in the jacuzzi. It's, you know, it's amazing. And it's that liberation and that empowerment.
I'm so glad that we bumped into each other. We had a heart connection from
did.
nowhere.
We did.
And here we are.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
We are the spirit of the earth. We are alive and walking where we are.